Gilded by Namina Forna. Chapter 16. I saw what you did last night. Kita's voice is an unwelcome whisper in my ear. It's evening and we're at the lake, observing Katya's funeral rites. Alaki aren't allowed burial into the ground, so we're burning her on the water. In a small boat we've turned into a funeral pyre. In the absence of a male guardian, Shirem is in charge of her rites, and he reads solemnly from the infinite wisdoms. He'll be leaving Hemira the moment the funeral rites have ended, returning to his home in the western provinces. He can't take the thought of witnessing any more comrades' deaths. I don't blame him. If I had the choice, I'd leave too. It doesn't matter that Mother was once here, that there are still questions I need answers to. I want to escape this place. Want to run somewhere far away. But I'm bound to these walls, just as Katya was. Her skin is the deep indigo of a summer sky now, and her long red curls flake in tiny patches as the fire flickers over them. She never cut her hair after the first day here, not even when it got in the way of training. I always thought the matrons would punish her for it, but they never did. It smells like apples as it burns away. The big red ones from the northern provinces she told me she was fond of. I don't know whether this is fanciful thinking or not, but it drives away the metallic odor of blood from my nostrils, the lingering memory of her ripped out spine, the look of the Death Shriek's eyes when I addressed it, the same look I saw in the Urfoot Death Shriek's eyes. I inhaled the smell to banish the horrible thought before I turned to Kita. What do you mean? I murmur. I'm so numb I'm not even afraid that Kita suspects me. That Karmoko Thandaway likely does as well. What kind of life have I chosen that people die so easily, that friends die so easily? One much better than what you had before. I stifled the unhelpful thought. I don't want to think practically right now. I don't want to think about what happened yesterday, when the Death Shriek stood over Katya, and I spoke. Kita moves closer. I won't tell anyone, he says. And if it helps, I don't think Karmoko Thandaway will either. This assurance does nothing to dull the twitchy, agitated feeling that's crawling over me. What exactly is it that you want? I ask, looking up. If there's one thing being here in the constant presence of Death Shrieks has taught me, it's that Britta was correct. My gift was valuable, which means other people will do awful things to get their hands on it. On me. A memory of the cellar flashes through my mind. Golden blood on the floor, the elders approaching, buckets in their hands. I push it away, wait for Kita to reply. It takes him a moment to reply. The same thing I want from everyone, he says, determination in his gaze. To help eradicate the Death Shrieks. What does that have to do with me? Don't play stupid, Decker. Whatever it is you did last night, it seemed like it might be useful. I think we should explore it. In secret, of course. I nearly laugh at the irony. Just weeks ago, Britta suggested the same thing. I force myself to pay attention as he continues. I don't think my commanders would take kindly to such things, much less the priests. These last words, the priests, stoke my agitation, and that memory flashes again. Elder Durka's hand, a knife inside it. I breathe to calm myself. Why should I trust you? If you saw what you think you saw, why should I believe that you won't betray me to the priests or to your commanders? He shrugs. Golden gaze meeting my own. There are monsters at our gates, whose very screams can cause a person's eardrums to explode. and whose claws can saw through bodies smoother than a knife through butter. Don't you want revenge? There's a look in his eyes now, a bitterness. He isn't just talking about me, but also about himself. Perhaps even the other Urinu as well. Aren't you tired of losing people to them? Always losing to them? I find myself nodding, anger abruptly boiling inside of me. More images rush through my head. The attack on the village, all those corpses lying in the snow, then the cellar, golden blood pooling on the floor, and finally Katya, claws piercing through her chest. Death shrieks have already taken everything away from me. What else am I going to let them take? I know I can command them, that I can force them to do my bidding. I need to learn more about my ability. I need to use whatever this is inside me to get back at those monsters, to get revenge for Katya. I am tired, I whisper, suddenly thinking of everything I lost. Mother, father, my life back in Erfurt. I think of Katya, who only ever wanted to go home, to be a wife to Ryan, to have a family. I'm so very, very tired. Kita nods. Me too. Me too. Which is why I'll gladly swear my loyalty to you. Protect you with my life. If what I saw you can do can help us kill more of them. As I glance up at him, startled by this fervent declaration, he holds out his hand. I mean it. Partners. In truth, this time. I stare at his outstretched hand, confusion rising. No man has ever offered me his hand before, as if we were equals, but that's exactly what Kita's doing. Perhaps he truly does mean everything he's saying. Or perhaps this is a trick, one that could end my life. Either way, he already has his suspicions about me. Perhaps it's better that I ally with him, watch him for any weaknesses I might be able to exploit. A devil's bargain, to be sure, but what isn't in this life of ours? I take his hand, marveling at how odd it looks against mine. Skin versus gilding, brown against gold. Partners in truth, I say. This time, Kita squeezes my hand before he releases it. My breath catches, though I don't know why. Perhaps it's all the exhaustion. And that's the end of chapter 16. It's unfortunate what happened to Katya, but I guess they have to press on no matter what. Stay tuned for the next chapter, chapter 17, coming soon.